Jesus freak here. So, decided to the posters I had done like a week or so ago for the rally I'm going to tomorrow. Some of them I decided were kind of and one of them I was like, I really need to give another take on that we the people thing, because I drew the first E wrong. Because I'm not used to trying to imitate that style of writing. So apparently a detractor is saying, "Oh, look at those nice signs. They must be being paid by George Soros." Like, bruh. Graphics design isn't the purvey of an elite few anymore. It's not the 19 bloody 80s, right? Of course, bringing up George Soros like they do is basically a stand-in for an anti-Semitic trope. And, I mean, a lot of things they accuse Democrats of are basically recycled anti-Semitic tropes. Does that surprise anyone? Now, I'm going to emphasize, I'm not a Democrat myself. I've been no party affiliation for probably the last 25 years. Because the party I originally affiliated with no longer exists. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I don't care. I'd rather be no party affiliation because it doesn't give any lizard brains on either side an excuse to take pot shots at me for not voting a straight party line. That's not just a Republican thing. Democrats do it too. Just not as much as Republicans seem to. So I'm like, wait. I'm awake. Let's get this done. Store opens at 8. I mean, the rallies I was going to, most of the signs were actually handmade. I didn't see a lot of like professionally done stuff. Which, of course, they want to delegitimize us. Every time some group decides to exercise their First Amendment right to get out there and protest, or your equivalent in another country, because it's not just an American phenomenon. The government sees it as a threat. They'll do anything in their power to delegitimize it. Especially now that they're on alert because we've had multiple of these rallies already. They're starting to go around saying, oh, it's Antifa. It's terrorists trying to start trouble. It's a hate America rally. We don't hate America. We hate your America. Learn the difference. Your America looks a lot like 1940s Germany. They say those who don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. I think that was George Santayana. My corollary, the rest of us are forced to sit back and watch. We're not going to sit back and watch. One thing I've said in the past, and I'll say it again. There's a big difference between when Christians get the levers of power and when a Christian sect gets the levers of power. When a Christian sect gets the levers of power, the first thing they tend to do is turn it on other Christians. Because to a lot of Christian sects, it's actually worse to be the wrong kind of Christian than it is to not be a Christian at all. They see you as a heretic or an apostate. You're an ex-human to them. How far they go depends on the sect. Some of them, they'll ignore you or try to get you to convert to their version of Christianity. Some of them, they can get pretty ugly. And when you have Christian-oid groups like the New Apostolic Reformation, I've gone over this before. They believe in new prophets, new apostles, so they're rejecting the completion of Scripture. They have some of their people, Brian Simmons, rewriting Scripture to add their thoughts to it. And they take go make disciples of all nations to mean go turn other nations into disciples, into vassal states. That's not what that means. It means make disciples from people in every nation. There's several places in Scripture where this kind of power seeking, if not rejected, it's at least frowned on. For example, Paul saying, let God deal with the outsiders and you deal with the insiders. Or Jesus saying, my kingdom is not of this world. They want a worldly kingdom. They want Saul. They want Barabbas. I think anyone should see why that would be a threat to anyone who isn't part of their clique. And given what I've gone through, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's cliques. Jesus freak out.